Color in visual design. This presentation is going to talk about color and how important it is to make good color choices in all sorts of visual designs such as PowerPoints and posters. Let's first look at color theory. Color theory is the art of combining colors based on the patterns of a color wheel. So, as we'll look in a few slides, there are many different formulas to look at in a color wheel, and which help you put certain colors together and give you a nice uniform, complete look. So why does color matter? First of all, color draws your eyes to a point of focus, whether that be text or an image on a slide. It can also create balance and consistency. If you have many different colors, many different shades, it can become a little bit more overwhelming. Color also enhances presentation aesthetic and evokes emotion and sets a mood. For example, if you see red and black, you might think dark, anger, but if you see yellow, you will think of more happy emotions. Okay, now we're going to look at hue, saturation, and value and define them. Hue is the dominant wavelength of a color with full saturation in its purest form. So basically, hue is just a synonym for color. It is just each individual color in its purest form. Saturation is the intensity of a color. So as you can see in this image, there are different shades of red, and this is known as the saturation. And lastly, value is the lightness or darkness of a color. Here you can see how the scale goes from black all the way to white and shows the reds with a mix of added light and added darkness. So in looking at a color wheel, we can define primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. To begin, primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Those are the three primary colors. From these colors come three more colors. When you mix red and yellow, that gives you orange. Yellow and blue, that gives you green. And red and blue gives you violet. So these three are secondary colors. And then all variations of these colors added to the ones next to them will give you the tertiary colors, such as red orange, orange yellow, etc. Now we can use the color wheel and different formulas in schemes, as you can see here. So there's monochromatic, which is just using one individual color. There's analogous, which is using a few colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. There's complementary, which are using colors opposite each other on the color wheel. Split complementary, which you can see in the image, and then there's triad and tetradic. All of these color schemes are different formulas, and they're here to help you understand colors, understand which colors go together and which colors you can use to help you make a nice uniform look in visual design. So what about neutral colors? Neutral colors such as black, white, brown, and gray are so important in visual design, although people may not think they're as important as the bright colors. They tie together a visual design. They can create balance. They're very easy on the eyes if used properly, and neutral colors can have a nice calming effect. We're going to look at a few tips to end this presentation for incorporating color in visual design. What you should do is use color. Don't be afraid of color. Use it and look at the color schemes to help you find colors that will work together. Consider a color scheme and stick to it. Use contrasting colors for clear and legible text. So you wouldn't want to put navy blue text on a black screen because nobody would be able to read it. Even if it's easy to read up close, if you are presenting something with a large audience, you have to be mindful that there's complete contrast in colors so that the text can be able to be read from far away. And lastly, do use color to draw eyes to text or images. In contrast, don't use more than 3 colors per slide. Overwhelming the audience with colors will just be too much and they won't be able to focus on the information presented. Don't use colors that strain the eye, such as a lot of neon colors. That can be very difficult to read. And don't be afraid of gradients, which are the different saturation levels of colors and how colors fade. But just make sure that text is readable and don't go crazy. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learn more about color and visual design.